I said before, Jen, I'm having my break, and yes, I still have protein shake on my nose. I can't get the bloody thing off. That's because it's in this jar. It's not natural look, and of course it's all there. And her suggestion was for me to come outside to get grounded by my poolside, which I never get to use, might I add. I will have to show you it. So while we're chit-chatting, I will give you a bit of a tour of my beautiful abode while we're getting grounded. Seeing as Jen is so lovely to remind me that I should get grounded. So this is my beautiful pool, which I might add, I'm on school break with my daughter and I've been in there 3 times and it's really cheesing me off. So this is my pool. And of course my creepy crawly does not negotiate with me, so I'm constantly coming out here to try and clean it, which is very rude of the thing. I did buy it for that given reason. But yes, this is my lovely home, Grapevine. And yes, I'm European and I do make stuffed vine leaves, but I haven't had time to do that either. So anyway, back to the relevance of your reading. While I'm tuning, you have some family dynamics going on. And I do see, for those of you that do have children, I see a bit of a problem with a fresh start. And that's because situations from your past are coming back and really cropping up and being really irritating towards you. So I sort of feel like a past tense situation is directly going to impact you. You do have a fresh start coming. Now, this fresh start in any shape or form, be it you're coupled or single, it's like there's external influences which are going to irk you in January. And that's down to work. It's like you're juggling. I see you juggling and it's starting to frustrate you. Now, this trigger's positive, so please don't take it as a negative, because it's about you owning your power and bringing it back to that balanced form where you're saying, enough is enough, I'm wiping the slate clean. It's helping you gain the clarity so you can come to a place where you say, enough is enough, I know what I want, I know what I don't want, and I'm going to start applying my energy to these areas. Now, some of these loose ends are going to be tied up in January. And anything that comes to the surface in a sense of a contract, legalities, just deal with them as they come, because this new path is what all of this situation is about. By tying up these loose ends and having that fresh slate, that's where the new picture is going to evolve from. I'm just going to have a puff, I'm sorry. I'm optimistic I'm going to get a twin flame video done today, so I'm very optimistic. I'm trying to meditate on yours at the moment. So what I'm feeling is proximity for you connected to family members is problematic. Work at the moment, I feel, is being interrupted, both by your internal and external situations going on. That's frustrating you, and it has been an ongoing thing. So it's like you're having the forward motion, but then some sense of a hurdle is coming about that it's kind of dragging you back, so that forward motion is constantly being prevented. That needs to change altogether. Loose ends need to be chopped where the umbilical cords that were old are totally gone, and the slate, so to speak, is wiped clean, because it's causing no forward motion for you. Many aspects of the past has been wiped clean, but other people's opinions are that it's not over, or their feelings connected to it, they haven't healed, so they're going to creep into your situation and start directly impacting your house, so to speak. Put it over there. It's okay, it's fallen on cement. I collect after. I'm a very clean person. Now, let's see what's going on. Okay. Don't know who this person is, but you have, for those of you who are single, there's a new person coming into your life. Now, you're a bit like, oh, I am keen, but these other old things keep cropping up. Now, they can be old thoughts you're having, old feelings connected to a past tense situation. You're trying to deal with them. Now, your health has been under the microscope as well. You need to watch yourself. You need to look after yourself, because other people aren't doing that. They're not considering you. And I don't know why. It's been challenging. You've had a challenging time connected to a past tense situation. It's been challenging. Apparently, it's something for me. So anything for me is me. It's toxic, really. But as I said, it's one of the toxic habits I have that I'm purging. While I'm working, I find I don't, so that's healthy. You missed the beginning. We'll go back to the beginning. I showed you the pool. You missed out on that, Jen. I gave you a look of my pool. And no, there were no koala bears or kangaroos out there. Although we are in Australia, so snakes in the warmer weather do come through. Yes, Capricorn. Capricorn. Okay, I can feel a hand around your neck, and it's a frustrated energy. It's a suppression energy. It's healthy. Don't get me wrong, it's healthy. Because you've had enough. It's suffocating. It's almost like it gives you panic attacks, this given situation. It's got to go. And you've tried to be nice. Woo! Yeah, and okay, so what section is this about? So it's money in your general life. It's in every area of your life. You've had enough. It's killing your shine. It's prevented forward movement. And you're looking at it saying it's not even about the past. So I think what they're wanting me to do is really focus on your general life of how it's impacted it, and then I'll backtrack, because we need to know why this block, and the block is in your general life. It's in every aspect of your life at the moment. So I'm going to pull some chakra cards. It can be connected to a breakup and them still not, it's their issue. They need to realise it's gone. It's done. Yes, you're adhering to your sense of responsibility, but it's almost like they're pointing the finger at you. Now, some aspect of you this is about, and the reason I'm saying that is because this vibration wouldn't be coming towards you if you had closure on it. Now, I'm not saying you don't have closure on the person or the situation. Could be a dynamic in a family, could be a breakup, could be a work environment, because this is the general aspect of your life, but it's triggering every aspect of your life. In January, it's coming up to the surface to really be addressed, because it just feels you've got a lot of things coming at you. Don't panic during this process. It is a healing process, and it's going to save you. It really is, because triggers, 9 times out of 10, if you're boxed into a box and you outgrow that, physically the box is going to break. Now, you need to follow your heart about what you feel your bigger picture has to be, and you just have to go, stop. Enough is enough. And tell some people some home truths, because it's knocking your shine. You got no light. They're killing your shine. It's toxic. It's just got to stop. So you feel that because you're being fair to other people, it's preventing you from just having a path. And every time you try to go on a path, then somehow it fizzles out or doesn't come about in a way you thought, because your focus has to go to this different location of where it has finalised, but it's been dragging you back somehow. This can be an unwell person around you, where suddenly you're having to step up to the plate for other people. But there's no forward movement, okay? The forward movement is halted. It's blocking you. Now, you can't even see your own reflection. For some of you, this is about a twin flame and you being blocked. Even though you've moved, you're being blocked in some shape or form. Again, try not to take it personally. Just keep going. There's a reason this is happening. There's no celebration connected to this. You're not feeling that there is a positivity connected to the twin flame connection, or connected to the dynamic that keeps dragging you back, and you're wondering why on earth this is all happening. I'm going to pull some more cards on that. Why it's happening is for you to gain your power, for you to actually look at each thing. There's too many to write down on a piece of paper, I can tell you. That's what I'm saying. It's like there's too many aspects where it's almost like a domino effect. One thing happens and then everything else is falling down around it. And I see you feeling very overwhelmed by the whole process. Almost that you're like, well, do I just not do anything? Because when I do something, it doesn't work. And when I do something, it doesn't work. When I don't do something, it doesn't work. I get the same result. So what am I actually doing here? How do I directly deal with this? Maybe deal with it as you go, one item at a time, and just let the rest fall to pieces. Let the world fall to pieces for a day. and go, right, this is the first issue that has come to the table. I'm going to dig to the root of it, and I'm going to sort this crap out because it feels like crap. It feels like pettiness. Yeah, but remember, with the twin flame connection, what's going on with them is internally is something that you need to address in your life. So, and that's the quickest way to balance it. Sometimes we can't energetically directly connect with it with them and help them. But what we can do is look at ourselves and say, how can we directly deal with that energy, and what do we need to do humbly? So it's really pushing you out of sync, right? You need to go with the flow with the situation. And know that you are guided, you know, you're safe, you're guided, you're not seeing the hope in it. There's sometimes in the darkness is where the light comes from, because you got to go through the dark night of the soul, so to speak. And when I say the dark night of the soul, sometimes purging is an aspect of getting there, and when you've got hell freezing over, so to speak, there is light at the end of that, but you physically got to go through that. It's a step. Okay, you need to meditate on one given situation at a time. Be patient with it, find the solution, and cast it aside so it's done. Finalise it. I see a contract. I can actually see like a legality. This could be custodial related issues. It can be you seeing that they need to tie up loose ends. So the potential isn't there until these loose ends are dealt with. Now, some of it isn't on your side, so you need to place those in the correct boxes to deal with them. Now, I'm going to leave that as it is for the minute, and we're going to get to money. You do have freedom to manifest. Anything you work on is the freedom of your choices. Only kind of focus in on what you can do, because I do feel a few people directly connected to this are not doing what they need to do. So you just do what you have to do and let the rest be their domain to directly deal with. Okay, it's not that there's blow-ups connected to the work that you're doing. So you might not feel as passionate at work because of all of this dynamic going on, and maybe the work itself is going to change. You're seeing the truth of the situation, so it's not an old situation happening over. It's just too much going on externally to you. You need to get grounded, and it does feel a removal of an energy moving into a different industry for some of you, or moving into a way of doing something and dealing with the external so that you are grounded at work and with your money. Family. It's knocking your creativity. It's knocking your ability to express and flow and be your vibrant self. Some aspect of what's going on. Your soul's purpose is what you need to focus on. So what is going to bring you the greatest happiness within your family, and how you can bridge the gap connected to this. You have the key for you. It's about you, not them. Although it is directly about them, the only way you can control the flow of it is if you get you grounded and balanced. Now, it's making you emotional, but also you're wanting to give them what they deserve, and sometimes you're giving money instead of more, and it might be due to a distance. So sometimes you're thinking that the only reason they want you around is because of money. Other times you're feeling that the only way you get grounded is while you're working, because that's where you feel you're co-creating and manifesting and have those abilities. And there feels like there's scrutiny in every area, so now that's why it's feeling so out of balance in January. Okay, you're not even seeing the signs because there's just too many signs. Do you know what I mean? It's like there's too many situations going on in family and external in your friendship house that it's directly impacting every aspect of life. Okay, you can see how this is going to go. So you already do know how it's going to go, but it's just so overwhelming at the moment. Okay, let's get some clarity about this. I feel your pain. Keep working through it. You can do it. Have faith, because everything happens for a reason. Sometimes we're very old souls and we're actually jolted to a place where we're triggered. And those massive triggers, when we're having them, it's because we're very old souls. So it's nothing we can't handle. Remember, we never give ourselves what we can't handle. So just trust in this process that it's sort of like your higher self challenging you to say, wipe that slate clean. Let's get this done. Let's not tolerate this shit anymore. That's what it's basically feeling. So excuse me if I'm being rude, but it feels like it's just so overwhelming to you that you're saying enough is enough. I just can't do this no more. Yeah, enough is enough. Your intuition is speaking very high. I don't even feel you're angry. I just feel you're just so overwhelmed. You don't even have the energy to shout. That's where I'm feeling you're at. I literally feel you just cannot fathom why all of this crap is going on. And you're almost feeling you are being punished, but it's not natural punishment. It's toxic punishment. It's unhealthy, discord punishment. Like that Rihanna song, What Now? Don't stay in that vibration. Go and do something to get your inner child out. I mean, I will completely admit, I very rarely drink. And I had a aha moment the other day. Obviously, I did do the readings for, you know, obviously December. And I did mention that we would have a few aha moments. And mine has been about balance as well with family and loved ones. And obviously my twin flame journey and my child and my work. And I came to a realisation that I'd had no time for myself. And so I did some purging, listening to music, indulged in that feel sorry for me, had my cry, which then got me grounded because I was getting it out. And then I come to a place and I thought, and I'm not a drinker, so for me to actually say I'm going to have a drink, that's a big thing for me. But it was a way I could just remove that block, and that was what, generally I exercise because I've been so busy working. I haven't had that kind of outlet. So I probably had 2 drinks, had my cry, and the next day I felt kind of grounded. Went out and did something natural, went back to my protein shakes and detoxing, and then I could look at life with clarity. You need to do something that you feel is vibrationally correct for you, and I'm not kind of suggesting you get drunk. I'm merely suggesting you need to find a technique for you to do something physically for you for 2.5 and say, right, enough of the white noise. What am I going to do to get my inner child back? Because this is toxic, believe me. 2 glasses of wine is not toxic. This dynamic is toxic. So it's got to go. You cannot hold this kind of, it's like a semi-trailer on top of your back. It's knocking your self-esteem. It's out of balance. Your intuition is, you know it's got to stop. Look at the hands. You're being guided. What the universe is giving you is guidance. It's challenging you. Stop this chaos. It's got to stop. You're not grounded because of everything that's going on. You're not seeing resolve or peace. And, you know, you're wanting your desires and your dreams to come true. But because of this chaos going on, it's blocking that flow. So it's coming in January, not as a punishment towards you. It is a gift. And it sounds pathetic, but it is a gift, trust me. Because triggers make us say, no deal, no more. Even your intuition is getting knocked by this. It's affecting every aspect. And actually, the reality is this has been going on for a while, a long time. It's just you've tolerated it because you've had the energy to. Now, energetically speaking, you're saying, but I did want to apply my energy to other areas of my life, and now this is preventing me. So I do need to address this head on. You're having an awakening, and that's why it's all coming about. And it's like, oh, I can see everything quite clearly, and it's really off sync, and this is just no go. Your connections and your connection to people. You're seeing the truth connected to some people, and you're disconnecting. You're saying, oh, you no longer are my person or people, and you have to go because you're creating a dynamic. Singles, what's going on with you guys? Oh boy, guys. Last one had to be the most full on, didn't it? Mind you, what about the twin flame? Ugh. something's not wanting to come together. The reason forward movement for singles is not happening is because these areas aren't merging. Past tense situations, past tense people's belief systems, they're not merging. So in order for them to move in single, some aspects of past needs to be directly addressed. Some people's energy around you needs to be addressed. If it's a twin, keep focusing on self, because we can't control their flow of their learning and their growth, but we can control our own because we are them, if that makes sense. Okay, so we'll see what energy's around you. Okay, you're being harsh on yourself and you're not being flexible. You're being harsh on the wrong person. The harshness needs to come directly to the energies. You haven't had 2.5 to heal. You have been helping everybody else heal, but nobody has said, hey, how are you doing? Are you okay? And I'm asking you, are you okay? People need to have that compassion towards you. Now, there's a lot going on in your world that's causing direct stress, and it is a massive change, but it's necessary change. So you won't enjoy the process of the upheaval, but what it's going to give you is a fresh, bright, new future, like a canvas where you can paint that new picture. This new picture has to happen. It's long overdue. And it will be the beginning of a new phase. For some of you, it might be going to the next level with a person, reconnecting with loved ones, reconnecting with a twin. It feels like a reconnection, but a connection with self before connection with others. In this person's life external to you, there's upheaval happening with them, okay? There is movement. They're becoming grounded in their love internally, and they are becoming more ready to offer you something. This can be someone who was married or who you were married to. Now, if you're just a twin, it can be that they're realizing their soul connection is directly with you. But it feels as though this person who's coming towards Capricorn is going to have a deep emotional abundance directly connected to you. Okay. They have, in their past, they had to have an ending in order to come forward to you. But their ending of their cycle might be that they've had somebody pass over in their life. It can be that it's an ending in a relationship that they're leaving and they're moving forward to. But it's some shape of ending. This can be a past tense person who just isn't simply coming back to you, but is a phase that needs to be ended in a sense of a cycle to free you for the next chapter. So it's going to be relevant how it directly relates to you. Okay, there's upheaval connected to this person who's coming in towards you or who's directly connected to you. You're being very strict with yourself because you're protecting yourself. But between you, you're going through a similar energy, okay? Your world is feeling chaotic. They compassionately love you and care for you. Now, there is a connection between the two of you, either via having a child or emotional or spiritual, or by you had been married or will be married to this person. It's a start of something, and it's a shake-up, okay? They needed this in order to have this new beginning, and there is hope, but it feels like there's always delays. So again, remember how I was saying to you there was always external situations cropping up, and every time you had forward motion there was an external situation yet waiting again. Okay, be fair connected to yourself. Be fair knowing that, you know, stand your ground, know your truth, be who you need to be, and don't apologise for it. Your healing is what's going to help you move forward, and you're going to have faith connected to this. You're letting it flow, but you're very tired from the whole process. Calling in your soulmate, okay? You've had some healing work to do. So it felt like three energies. It felt like some of you, you're healing a past tense relationship in order to be free in life, to be able to love and have room in your life for someone who is very you. For some of you, you're protecting an aspect of that, and it's very difficult. If it's your twin flame, you've got to believe in that situation. And sometimes, and I'll be honest, you don't. And you can see the blocks. Stop thinking of the blocks. The blocks are theirs to deal with, but they're our challenges as well, in a sense of they directly relate to us. I know directly my twin has blocks, but I also do too. I'm by far perfect. So we do need to at times actually look at that. Family is out of sync at the moment for you, and it's killing your optimism. It's really frustrating you. Until that's in balance, sometimes it may mean for a while for you to have spiritual growth, you do step away from family in order to create that bubble, in order to find you, okay? Energetically, there's been deception around you. And sometimes you've been putting a mask on to just say that everything is fine. But you're dealing with the aspect of that. And, you know, you're dealing with people who have been very dependent on you. Maybe in some shape or form, you saying everything okay was an aspect of codependency, okay? An aspect of you saving face and being okay. Something you can't give a go with is a past tense situation, a way of doing something. In some, being a twin flame, how can I stop it? How can you stop it? It depends on what the trigger is. If the trigger is, I'll give you an example, external situations or cheating. If you're thinking it, you can co-create it, even from the other twin's point of view. And if it comes up through your twin, it's a direct block you internally have that maybe you're not safe to be loved. So it will come up as a challenge. Once you focus in on that, you're sending it out as a signal and it will occur. Codependencies in some shape or form, you need to look in your life and see where there are codependencies and how to bring the balance back. What you see in your twin is going to happen in you in some shape or form. It won't be exactly the same. Sometimes it will be. It won't be in some shape or in every shape. So codependencies of drug and alcohol and situations like that, they're not wanting to have control. You're wanting to have control. Why do you naturally need control? Does that make sense? So in focusing on it, it can manifest even more. On releasing it and knowing that the universe will kind of resolve that situation and ground it, that you're safe in that energy and don't have to control the aspect, it will balance that energy too. Okay, couples. Hope that helps. It's a hard one. I'm intrigued to see what comes through in this. You want something to change. It's got to change. Your throat chakra is like out there. Okay, your family member, your partner has something going on in their life. Okay? It's causing issues inside the relationship. You're frustrated, you're overwhelmed because you have been a huge supporter. You've been very supportive, but they haven't seen that all the while you've been like a sinking submarine. You're tired. Okay, you're making the sacrifice out of love. So whatever's going on, moving into January, you become heightenedly aware of this. And it becomes a point of conversation or a point of feeling that's shouting very loudly to you. Now, your partner is very tired as well. And it could be that they're financially struggling or they're unable to work or emotionally inside they have turmoil going on, and their energy is then kind of going over to you. Now, the connection is a connection, and you're aware of the connection, but you're also looking at the situation from a realistic point of view. You do feel that there is an injustice. Now, this could be directly connected to external family, or the way in which, you know, you're both being treated in this dynamic, because there feels like a lot of external influences. It could be stresses at work on both sides. It could be a legal contract that you're trying to deal with, and there could have been maybe somebody got sacked. It feels lots of conflict directly outside of yourselves, which to the core, you know who you are, but wow, you got a lot going on. There's gossip on your partner's side. So again, it could be something majorly happening with them, hearing things quite not nice, okay? You're hearing a lot of stuff about your partner. And it might be that they're unable to open up to you, or they do, and then you're hearing about other aspects later. But directly, there is something to do with family going on. Now, this could be that they had a family member that was unwell, that they've been dealing with. It feels like a very heavy energy. You are just trying to make everything work, trying to balance everything, and between you, there is money coming out of this situation, okay? But your partner is nostalgic of the past, so it can be directly connected to a relative who's unwell, or a way that life was simpler before when the love come about. They are feeling that everything's falling to pieces. They do feel overwhelmed. Now, you are unprepared for this, and you're really being careful because of a past tense situation for you. You're just being super careful. You want it to all change. It's got to change. I think they were too worried about the aspect of it. I feel they're focused on some aspect of cash, your partner, to cover up the pain that they actually have. But the pain you're acutely aware of. Okay, so change is coming. That can be upheaval. That can be just in general change. You're going to be light-hearted connected to this. There is love here. Okay. In an aspect, you need to let go and just let all the cards fall where they need to, because you're not doing that, but that's my advice. Let it go, let it fall. You can't avert a disaster. Let it fall where it's naturally meant to fall. If it means that some aspect of cash they lose, well, you got your fresh beginning and it's not dragging it out any further. Whatever it is that's blocking you, let the cards fall where they're supposed to. It's all supposed to happen and it's all there for your betterment. So trust in that factor. There are differences here. There could be a difference in viewing the situation romantically, or external situations impacting the factor of you two being together. But again, codependency is directly affecting this union. So look at how it is on your side, not just your partner's, because even non-twin flames will hold masculine and feminine energy. So the way you look at it is, energetically, what happens with us will happen with our partner. Why does the trigger come about? How can we actually change that so we can only we do take responsibility for others, I mean being parents we do, but ultimately to educate. We are not there to enable, we are there to educate and help them grow. So how can you energetically do that with you so that your partner can look at you and you're leading by example, so to speak? Not that I'm saying you're God, but you get my gist. Okay, these two wanted to come out. Inheritance again. And be cautious with your vehicle and movement and away in the way you want to travel, because you may not have, you're feeling you don't have luck around this at the moment. Be very careful. Let things fall the way they're supposed to, but don't jump the gun with assessments. Kind of assess it. Be cautious how you assess the situation. See the clarity in it. Any questions while I'm shuffling? So those of you that are coupled, is there a dynamic connected to your partner with an unwell relative? Or external influences connected to their side? Gosh, my back hurts. Must be getting old. Okay, you're going to hear about something. You're wanting to hear about something. But in January, the first week, I feel you won't hear everything right away. You'll be seeing things. So you need to assess the situation. What you desire is going to come. But you're going to have to be patient with this process and really acknowledge what it is you're physically wanting. The guidance is going to come internally through your own compass, not through the external. Some of you do want to have a child. Some of you, it's going to be a seed of a new idea. And I don't know how. Sagittarius is relevant for you. It just popped in. Might be a Sagittarius baby. Okay. You're not feeling grounded, connected to love. You are loved. It's just what's going on is not making you feel loved. So again, it's a mindset. So try and keep balanced. Have some self-love to yourself. And that's going to flow through. What's happening in January you can handle. Trust me, you can handle. I can say it. It's frustrating. No, you do not deserve it. But you guys are strong. But you've actually handled a great deal worse. It's just the fact that you're thinking, but I don't want to do that. And that's good. That's healthy because it means you've grown. Okay. It's preventing your freedom. It's preventing your new chapter. And it's preventing you from feeling grateful. Yes, it will. But in order to get that back is to own your power. So that's why this is happening. Okay? It's there to say, well, we were happy to give it to you. The universe was happy to give it to you. But you've been giving too much to everyone else. So now we're going to have to take it away from you. We're going to have to trigger you so that you can own your power and get the balance back and speak your truth and say, no, not acceptable. And it does take a while to learn to do that. And it does feel very odd. I mean, directly connected for my loved ones, I would always be buying them things. I would be walking through the shops and going, oh, they would love that. And then I realised, no, stop. You don't have to buy something for someone to show them you love them. You just do. So I had to unlearn that. It's a poor habit. I think some of the most beautiful gifts are the ones that are given, you know, with that expectation. Even small things like, gosh, it can be an acorn from the garden. Or a leaf with I love you. Doesn't have to be expensive. Any questions before I go, lovelies? I should go for a swim. No questions. Everyone asleep now. Nobody types very quick. Must be getting late over there. Everyone's getting tired. Your own power. My personal power is, how do you put it? Okay, my habit, like I said, was giving too much, but thinking that I had to give in order to receive. Yeah, come for a swim, Jen. Mind you, if it was over there, you'd be a bit cool. Your power, you have power, but people have left too much on your plate. Because you are a great handler of situations, the burden has become too large. So now to create the balance, it's you saying, this is your domain, this is my domain, to get the balance back. And then that's you reasserting your power, because you don't, taking power back doesn't have to be nasty. It doesn't have to be, well, you know what, you've done this to me, so I can't do this anymore. It's getting the scales balanced again, getting it balanced back to have your fresh start, because some aspects of power are out of balance, and it doesn't mean it's your physical balance. It could be people's expectations on you are out of balance. So you need to kind of put everything in order, or clear the slate, so to speak, so you can move forward. I hope that helps. Otherwise, you'd have to book a personal reading. I'd have to tap into your energy directly. You meditate when you feel needed to, yeah. That's okay, most welcome. Any more questions? While I'm babbling, I'll say have a happy new year. Everyone stay safe. Theoretically, for Europe, I have got it before the new year, so yes. That's okay, Laurie. Look after yourself. Happy New Year. I shall shortly do the twin flame reading. It may be after New Year's. I do feel, I'll see how I go. I'll have a shower and I'll make my decision. I'll see how I go. I'll surprise you. Most welcome. Happy New Year, everyone. Keep very safe. If you have any issues, thank you, Jen, you can go through to the website and you can actually email me there if you're having troubles making bookings. If there's a day that's blocked out a date, feel free to email me. I may be available. Otherwise, I will see you in 2018. Have a lovely year. Bye.